Welcome, Knights fans, to the 10th season of Pace Academy football in our season opener as we face off against the West Forsyth Wolverines. These two teams met last year in the 2016 opener, and the game was actually called at halftime, but the Knights did pull out the win 20-10.
Seems like today for the Knights that there will not be a lightning delay. There is no rain in the forecast. We should be able to complete this game. Tough test for the Knights going up against the 7A Wolverines.
The captains for the Knights tonight were number 69, Jamari Salyer, number 2, Realist George, and number 32, Gavin Guest. All three of them are seniors. The Knights come out to a big ovation from the fans here at Walsh Field. Knights donning new helmets and pants tonight with a white stripe, and the helmets actually have new decal on them. On the right side is the player's individual jersey number. On the left side is a larger white version of the Pace Academy logo that you see at midfield.
Yeah, that's different from last year when it was the Pace logo on both sides and it was in navy, not white.
Yes.
And the biggest challenge for this year coming in today for the Knights is going to be replacements. Losing Gunnar Falk, obviously, Deion Jackson, Trey Blunt, and Andrew Thomas. Replacing them all probably the biggest challenge.
And we'll talk a little bit about the quarterback situation later, but right now, Patrick Markwalter, junior number 14, is set to kick it off for the Knights.
Markwalter did an excellent job last year getting a bunch of touchbacks. Like, you could virtually depend on him to touch it back every time, pin the opponent back at their 20-yard line.
Back to receive for the Wolverines is number 3, Abraham Kamara, and number 2, Cade Vela. And Markwalter kicks off the 10th season of Pace Academy football as it started in 2008, 9 years ago. And the Wolverines will take over at the 20-yard line as our quarterback, number 12, Blake Whitfield, will bring their team out.
Knights defense centered linebackers by Blake Whitfield, the starting quarterback for West Forsyth. Ben Berenson, number 88, a big tight end, their key star offensively. A long touchdown catch last week in their win over Woodstock.
Ben Bresnahan is a 6'5", 230-pound tight end and wide receiver. He's wearing the number 88. Absolutely key player for the Wolverines.
It's actually number 1 at quarterback, Zachary Burns. Sorry.
Yeah. Burns hands it off to number 21, Saxby Waxer. He gained about 6.
That was good blocking that time by the Wolverines, opening up a nice hole for their running back to dart through.
Wolverines go quickly. Another handoff to Waxer. And he gets probably around 2 or 3 yards, just a bit shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, looking at the sticks, it's to be like third and about a foot.
Yes.
Here. So close they actually have to measure it.
No, and they give them to him. First down for the Wolverines.
It's funny, we see West Forsyth's band parading in, and that seems like the entire size of Pace's football team as they parade in.
Oh, it's much larger.
Yeah.
It's the West Forsyth marching band tonight has about 150 members of it.
That's a lot as the pass goes out wide.
As Vela
carried by number 2, Abraham Kamara, on the left side around to about the 40-yard line. That's a 10-yard pickup on the play, enough for another Wolverine first down.
and Cade Vela does pick up the first down on that.
Per high school rules,
10-yard
clock
run.
stops until the chains are set.
First and 10 West Forsyth from their own 40.
Interesting to see Zachary Burns start tonight instead of Whitfield for the Wolverines. But here's Waxer. Saxby Waxer for the Wolverines, brought down around the 21-yard line by Parker Spillers.
The big thing that I've seen so far here on this first drive is big holes being opened up by the Wolverine offensive line and just giving big holes for Wagner to dart through.
And if there's one thing that this talented Knights defense lacks, it is speed. And so let's see if the Wolverines can capitalize on it.
They got plenty of size, it's just that speed.
Oh. Burns hands it off this time. He gains about 6 or 7 yards. That was number 42, Mitch Holyfield.
Just continuing to open up those holes. It's just a note here, Chikari Wiggles, number 1 on the Knights defensive line, is, you gotta admire his courage. He's playing with a cast on that right hand. Yeah, he is. He's just in the game.
Another handoff to Holyfield. He gains a first down and powers his way through inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. So we'll be first and goal.
As the Wolverines just pounded it down the Knights' throat on this drive, continuing just to run the ball. Only one pass attempted by Burns so far.
There's another handoff to Holyfield. This time he is stuffed, but powers his way through for a gain of about 3 yards. It will be second down and goal from the 5 or 4-yard line.
Finally, Knights defense able to shut him down for not much there. And they still get down to the 3-yard line where it will be second and goal. Holyfield, the bigger of the Wolverines' 2 backs, normally being used here in these short yardage goal line situations, even though what's sort of a little disturbing about this is the Knights are giving out these big runs out of the shotgun. As there's a play action pass.
Touchdown Wolverines. About a 5-yard pass from Zachary Burns to his tight end, Garrett Woodall. Barely crosses the end zone line, and the Wolverines are on the board with 9:14 left to play in the first quarter.
That was a relatively effortless drive there by the Wolverines. I don't even think they faced third down once on this drive. They just kept pounding it down the Knights' throats.
Bryce Jones, a senior kicker for the Wolverines, is set to kick their extra point. Is through the middle. And the Wolverines take an early 7-0 lead over the Pace Academy Knights. 9:14 left to play in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this break.
Go.
We're back now as Bryce Jones set to kick it off for the Wolverines. After a 5-yard touchdown pass from Burns to Woodall.
Kick.
A short kick picked up by Tony Addison around the 7-yard line, and Addison will get to around the 16 or 17.
Tony Addison on the return for the Knights gets it out to the 17-yard line.
Knights offense coming on the field for the first time today, led by Jared Raymond.
Yes.
Clearly.
There's a quarterback battle this year, but in the offseason for the first time in a long time between junior Jared Raymond and sophomore Gabe Wright. Each of them have their own different sets of games, and both of them seem to be about equal, but Raymond will be the one leading the team out. He is more of a pocket passer, not as mobile as Wright,
And he also has a year of experience, at least, at quarterback under his belt.
Perriman breaks one tackle, gets out across the 20, almost to the 20-yard mark down.
7 or 8 yard run by Keyshawn Perryman. I say the key player for the Knights offense.
Clearly, I mean, if he goes, the Knights offense goes. I mean, you saw him last year running sort of second string Deion Jackson. He broke off some big plays last year. He's very fast. He's got that speed.
Absolute bowling ball at standing around like 5'9", 5'10". Has speed and power as a late substitution as Neal comes out for Mazer. And an illegal substitution was made as Delvala Bailey also came out onto the field. He wasn't supposed to. 12 men on the field. That will push the Knights back a tiny bit, but it will be second down and about 7.
Yeah, you saw Beatty run onto the field as the Knights were breaking the huddle and were set. And once you break the huddle, you're no longer allowed to make a substitution. So that led to the...
Yeah, Delvala Beatty, he didn't play last year. He set out the season, wanted to focus on his own things. Maybe he was a bit too eager to get out this year. Who knows? He plays about fullback and tight end.
Okay. I formation look here for the Knights.
Raymond hands off to Perryman again, who cuts to the right side, using that power juke moves, and picks up a first down. There is a flag. The ref threw around the 20-yard line.
That flag could be one of multiple things. Probably a hold on the Knights, which it is. So that'll back the Knights up 10 yards. And it will still be second down. But that negates a good run by Perryman. Seems like it will be second down.
And about 7 again. So basically just replay the play.
So no real harm coming, except the only problem is it negates a solid run by the Knights.
Yeah, they back it up a bit more. Second down and 12. Excuse me, 10-yard penalty. Second down and 17. So second down and very long with just under 8 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, that hold must have occurred just at the line of scrimmage, just past it. Brandon Myers did get a shot in his arm here early. Raymond back.
Here's Raymond's first pass of the 2017 season, and he is sacked.
And that
was about a 1-yard sack, so it's still third down and about 18.
And that's the difference there between Raymond and Gunnar Falk. Gunnar Falk probably a little faster. Probably would have been able to jut out and at least get a positive gain out of that. Now we'll see what Raymond's arm can do, or the Knights will just go with a simple draw play here just to eat up yardage.
Raymond does not like to move as much as Gunnar did last year. He likes to stay more in the pocket and find his open man.
There is the draw play.
Draw play, and Perryman is brought down around the 2-yard line for a loss of about 8.
Yeah, the Wolverines basically knew what was coming the whole time that time. So now Mark Waltz looks to punt for his own end zone and give West Forsyth good field position, another chance to move right down the field.
Yeah, Mark Walter will punt, and Saxby Waxer is back for the Wolverines to return at the pace 45-yard line. You might underestimate Mark Walter's punting ability. Mark Walter puts a high one. Waxer calls a fair catch. And Waxer dives around the 36-yard line. Patrick Thurman trying to jump out of the way.
Relatively good punt there. Mark Walter. The problem is the Wolverines just need probably one first down there in field goal range here. Put more points on the board. Starting from around the, they're spotting it at the 37-yard line. And West Forsyth is a big student section for a road game, but it's probably small in comparison to their school size. As a keeper there.
Quarterback draw. He gains about 9 yards. A good option play read option as the entire defensive line for the Knights thought Saxby Waxer had it, but Burns right up the middle, right
And that
through
was
them.
a perfectly run zone read there. Burns realizing that number 66, Cameron Hamilton, had a beat on Wagner, and just keeping the ball
Hamilton in the backfield immediately, but Burns read it perfectly. Burns hands out to Waxer this time, but picks up the first down after a gain of about 3 yards.
Ironically, a one-play quarterback substitution. Burns back into the game now. So there is that first down, and now with the ball at the 26, it's a long field goal, but it's still probably a field goal.
Based on what I've seen from the Wolverines kicker Bryce Jones, they may not attempt a field goal from this range, so they might want to get closer. First down now, hand off to Saxby Waxer to the right side. He powers through for a gain of about 7.
And that's that speed that you were talking about. Waxer is that speed. Nice, just unable to catch up around that right end.
Yeah.
Pickup of 6, it'll be 2nd and 4.
It's 2nd and 4 now. And Burns looking to throw, plenty of time in the pocket. Good coverage by the Knights, and yet he will still find an open man.
He finds number 23, Kai Rios.
Burns' pass is complete.
First and goal from the 2-yard line.
Down inside the 5-yard line, that's 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
Almost another illegal substitution penalty on the Knights.
First down and goal from about the 3-yard line. Timeout called on the field
Timeout.
by the Knights. We'll take about 30-second break, and we'll be right back after it. First and goal for the Wolverines. Quarterback keeper
And through
Burns
the pile,
must
he did
be
not get there.
just about short of the end zone.
That was an interesting formation setup there for the Wolverines. They had their entire goal line package out there, but yet Burns still lined up in the shotgun to take that snap. Normally it'd be a traditional under center there down around the 2-yard line, but the Wolverines seem insistent, and just as I say that, they go under center.
Hand off to Saxby Waxer, dives into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Wolverines. 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. The Wolverines take a 13-0 lead over the Knights
Still
very
early,
early in the season.
Still early, though. Knights have plenty of time. They just got to make some defensive adjustments. Really cover those outside edges. That's where Saxby Waxter has been beating them all day long. Just going left and right around the edges for big chunks of yardage. If they do that and they get the offense and minimize the penalties, they'll be just fine.
Jones to attempt the extra point.
Bryce Jones puts it up through the uprights for a good extra point. And now the Wolverines lead over the Knights 14-0 with 4:02 left to play in the first quarter. We'll be right back after this break for the kickoff. back now after that 2-yard touchdown run from Saxby Waxer for the West Forsyth Wolverines. Bryce Jones kicks it away. And this one was much longer than the last for a touchback. The Knights will take over at the 20-yard line.
And one difference from high school rules from college and pro rules is that if the kick goes into the end zone, you are physically not allowed to return it.
Right.
It's not like where you can take a knee and just take a touchback that way. You must not return it if you catch it in the end zone.
So Raymond brings out his offense for the second drive of the Knights tonight. Let's hope they can get some positive yardage.
The last one would have been fine, not for the penalties. Just kind of minimize those. Still want to be physical, but you can't be too physical.
Knights with 4 wideouts out. Hand off to Perryman to the left side, and he is wrangled down after a 4-yard gain.
That's if you call staying on schedule. That's exactly what you need on first down. 2nd and 5, very manageable. 2nd and 6 actually, but still. 4 or 5-yard gain on first down, just fine to continue going.
Toss out to Perryman, cuts inside, looking to make some.
That's a good move
out of
by
nothing.
Perryman, multiple.
And what a run. About 5 yards, just short of the first down marker, so it will be 3rd down and short.
And that's just Perryman's agility and speed right there, just eluding the slower Wolverine defenders. So 3rd and 2 probably for the Knights, call it.
I formation. Hand out to Perryman.
He got it.
Yep. 4-yard gain as Knights pick up a first down. The first one of the night.
It's always a start. Number 45, Sam Asap comes into the game on the line, or a fullback. Knights remain in that I formation. Booman is in the fullback position. You know he can carry the ball if you need him to.
Another handoff to Perryman. This time read. And a
The
fumble.
ball is on the ground.
Ball came out. That was read perfectly by the Wolverines defensive line.
And it is West Forsyth football. And that was Perryman's problem a little bit last year. He couldn't really, he had a couple fumbles last year. Fumble bug bites the Knights again, and they just can't seem to catch really a break here early. Maybe need a big defensive stop here to settle the Wolverines down a little bit.
So for the second time tonight, the Wolverines will take over in Knights territory, this time at the 31-yard line.
Stay in that spread offense, which I think helps and confuse the Knights, because this is an offense that needs a lot of speed to defend.
Burns rolls out and finds Woodard for a gain.
As you never really
6 yards.
Yeah, you never really know what's going to happen because Burns can hand it off. And he also has 4 wide receivers running pass patterns on every play. Most of this is basically a quarterback option read, which you need a senior quarterback and experience to do, and that's exactly what Zachary Burns is. Knights finally read a play perfectly.
Great job bringing down Mitch Holyfield in the backfield for about a 4 3-yard loss. 3rd down. Looks to be about 6.
I mean, this is the best defensive situation the Knights have been in all game. Need to take advantage of it. As here comes Jakari Wiggles onto the field now. You see that big blue cast on his right hand. Handoff
to Waxer, stuffed.
Big defensive stop there by the Knights just for momentum, but it's sort of that no man's land range where they could end up going for this.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like they're going to do.
This was expected by the Wolverines.
Sort of lack of confidence in the kicker somewhat, but also it sort of makes sense. It'd be a 42-yard field goal, which is a lot. It's only 4th and 4, so it's pretty manageable. And the Knights just jumped.
Neutral zone infraction for
And that will be a first down.
Knights.
Knights, 5 yards. Mark off will be enough for a Wolverine first down.
That's a good job of experience there by Burns jumping tonight. Knights a little bit too eager. This could be where West Forsyth's experience. They're such a big school. They basically have only juniors and seniors on the varsity football teams, and they've been here a while. They know what's going on in this program. So that could be very helpful later.
Quarterback keeper off the read option.
Burns.
Zachary Burns.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Flag in the backfield, though, around the 20-yard line.
Quarterback keeper, but there is a flag on the play.
Final.
Oh,
Nice
yeah,
catch
you
and
heard
break.
that. It is holding against the Wolverines.
Decided to foul. It's going to back them up to about 30.
And that was pretty blatant. I mean, one of the West Forsyth guys definitively grabbed and almost tackled one of the Knights defenders.
Yeah.
That was a definite hold, easy call for the refs.
First down and 20 from, which should be around the 30-yard line.
First and 20 makes it a little more difficult, but with the way the Wolverines been running the ball all day today, they've been able to take it to the outside and just pick up massive chunks of yardage. So Knights really need to bear down here and get a stop.
24 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Burns will hand it off to
Exactly
Holyfield.
what I was talking
Holyfield
about.
cuts to the outside and gets about a 9-yard run. Brought down by Mbidi Williams.
You know, it's still good though, because now it's 2nd and 11 as compared to 2nd and 1. Or even a touchdown, which was the result of the previous play, as that should bring us to the end of the first quarter, which will come as a relief for the Knights. It will be 14-0 West Forsyth as we head to the second quarter. Knights seem to be figuring it out a little bit on the defensive side. We'll see if that continues. In the second quarter, we head to the second quarter, 14-0 Wolverines.
We're back now to start this second quarter, 2nd and 11 for the Wolverines.
Burns.
Zachary Burns drives back to throw, has way too much time. Here comes Jaquari Wiggles. Burns gets out of it.
That was just a good.
Find Rios inside the 10-yard line.
That was just a good job of extending the play there by Burns, but the Knights really should have had some coverage. I mean, that was just a breakdown on both sides. It was a broken play and a good job. That's the experience of Burns pointing out there to be able to realize that and
Both
make a strong
Jaquari
accurate
Wiggles
throw.
and Justin Cogbill of the Knights almost brought him down in the backfield, but Burns just slipped right out of their fingertips.
First and goal, Wolverine.
First and goal from the 6. Timeout on the field, timeout Knights. That is their second of the night. 30-second timeout. We'll be right back after this. First and goal for the Wolverines. Handoff up the middle, stuffed. Cade Vela had nowhere to go. Jamari Salyer and Justin Cogbill were right there to meet him.
And the Knights are beginning to get a little bit of good penetration on the straight-up running plays. They're just not necessarily figuring out the zone reads that Burns is putting on. Stopping the running backs, but then if Burns decides to keep it himself or throw the ball, Knights seem to be hopeless right now.
Vela was just hit with almost 600 pounds right there in the backfield. And Salyer weighs about 350. Fumble on the play.
On the ground, but it's picked up by Burns.
Relis George was in the backfield immediately to strip it away, but didn't realize the ball was on the floor.
Now this is a
Burns
big
jumped right
momentum
on it.
point in the game. Knights really need a stop here. Just to even a field goal here is okay.
That's true.
Just a momentum to stop them from scoring a touchdown when they had first and goal on your 5 would hugely help the Knights.
And now it's third and goal from the 17.
Based on what Burns has done so far today, he can air it out easily.
Burns rolls out to his left. Chasing down by Wiggles.
Way too
Burns
much time.
throws
That
it.
should never have
Finds.
happened.
Looks to be Woodle in the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines.
Knights once again had 3 opportunities to take him down in the backfield. That play should never have happened in the first place.
Garrett Woodle got just barely a toe down in the corner of the end zone to get 6 points for the Wolverines.
The Knights just need to drop back there. I mean, you got to defend the end zone line. If they want to throw it short, fine. But you got to stay on your man there. You can't let someone just simply get in the end zone like that semi-open. There has to be a contested throw at least. The extra point is good, 21-0 West Forsyth. As that throw is uncontested there.
A good job by Jacory Wiggles. I mean, getting in the backfield to put him under pressure. He is an underclassman in his first game for the
It
Knights.
seems like he's having no help right now. I mean,
Playing with a hurt hand.
yeah, that's like the 3rd time he's done that day, just showing his pure speed and agility. He's probably the one. He seems like the one Knights player who's been fast today in this game. All the rest seem to be playing a little slow on the defensive side. That can be fixed though. This will be a big drive by the offense here.
This still is a young Knights team, and with experience and with a game that has no playoff implications, more for experience and to get the Knights used to playing big-name teams like West Forsyth.
And now a
This is
question
still a
will be,
good start.
speaking of experience, do we bring in Gabe Wright as the quarterback here just to see what happens? You know, this game is far from over. Still only 10:26 to go in the second quarter, so plenty of time for Knights to come back if they figure out how to change their defense to stop them and just get our offense going.
Back to return for the Knights is number 3, Tony Addison, the senior, and number 23, Keyshawn Perryman, the junior. Bryce Jones kicks it away for the Wolverines. Back into the end zone where Tony Addison catches it. And Raymond leads his team out. We'll start over
Raymond.
1st and 10 at the 20.
Raymond on a quarterback here to begin this 3rd drive.
Raymond has not played bad. He has
He's not played bad. It's just been West Forsyth defense.
I've liked what I've seen from this offense.
Yeah, it's just penalties and then the fumble by Perryman. But other than that, Knights offense has been solid. Totally capable of going down and scoring a touchdown here on this drive. Because I like this look. I've always been a fan of the spread offense. I mean, you've seen how it's worked for West Forsyth so far. Maybe it'll work for the Knights as well.
Raymond rolls out, finds must be Johnson. Sorry, not Johnson, Jaden Thomas.
That will work just fine. That's all you
6-yard
need
gain.
on first down. Just little chunks and amass that into a big drive. You really need a long drive here to keep your defense, give them a little bit of a rest. Defense basically on the field for this entire first half so far.
Quick huddle for the Knights, same formation, 4 out.
Blitz coming and a low screen pass.
Yeah.
Results. That's the.
That was a design screen there. The blitz came because there was no linemen because they all came out to block for the wide receiver, which is how a screen works. Pass was just a bit too low, though, for Addison to really do anything with it.
Bad pass like I've seen from Raymond all day. I mean, that'll happen, but Raymond's been solid so far. We'll see what he can do here on a 3rd and 4.
9:25 left to play in the second. Reverse
Split
four
forward.
wide out look, handoff to Perryman.
And he is fighting through there, and
Powering
it does not
through.
seem like he's going to get it.
Just about a yard short,
Short,
excuse me.
It's going to be fourth and about a yard.
It's going to be about a half yard short of a first down.
Knights offense stays on the field.
And I love this personally.
We've given the Wolverines too many opportunities inside Knights territory this game so far.
I get that. I mean, you're down 21. Like you said, game has no really region or playoff implications. I sort of think, like, just try and see what happens. Maybe the Knights only have one timeout left. I was thinking Raymond might come out here and try and
Shot
jump
clock at 3-2. Get it off in time. Hand off to Perryman.
and
Spins through.
he got it.
Yeah, I think he did get it by inches. First down for the Knights.
And that could shift the momentum big time in this game. That was, like I said, I love that call, just showing the confidence in the offense. Just to see, that should be a big confidence booster for this offense to be able to drive down and score here. They should turn this into momentum. Maybe take a sort of like a 15-yard play action pass or sort of a deep shot to try to generate some momentum.
Confusion on offense. Shot clock. Excuse me, not shot clock. Play clock. I'm still thinking basketball terms. The Knights have to take their third timeout of the half.
They just really
Way back after this break.
not really sure what happened there. Keyshawn Perryman was just standing like halfway to the sideline, but
First and 10 for the Knights with about 8 minutes left to play in the half. It looks like different formation, wildcat formation for the Knights, and a keeper up the middle. Might have been Perryman on the carry.
and there was no
Was indeed.
there was no quarterback on the field in that play. Usually you sometimes see
We saw that a lot with the Wildcat last year with Deion Jackson playing in the Wildcat position.
Perryman's just as capable, but the real lethal
Absolutely.
combination last year for the Knights was Jackson lining up as the quarterback with Perryman next to him.
Raymond now under center with Perryman in the backfield. Hand up to the left. Oh, met immediately by number 8 for the Wolverines, Blake Sneed.
They tried the counter play that time, and it was just read perfectly. Raymond didn't sell it as much as he could have. The offensive line didn't really sell as much. It just ended up being stuffed as West Forsyth easily read it. Raymond will get to test his arm here on a 3rd and 8. About the 33, Knights need the 41 for the first down.
All right, it's taking too long in the huddle. Play clock at 8 now.
3rd and 8.
Raymond gets the hand. The playoff in time. Here's Booman George. His first carry of the season. I was expecting more, but it does bring up 4th down for the Knights as he was only able to gain about 4.
Yeah, now this is the logical decision to come on and punt it away. So, I mean, a 4th and 5 is a lot harder to convert than a 4th and inches.
Pick up 3 on the play. It's going to be 4th down.
Mark Walter on the punt.
Punted away for the Knights.
Mark
Almost
Walter's punt
blocked.
almost blocked. Here's Waxer Gets around the 25-yard line, uses his speed to go around the left side. Sam Asaf chasing him down, and he runs out of bounds around, looks to be the 43-yard line. A flag thrown.
Yep, I saw it happen. I'm not sure. I think what I saw happen was a Knights player push a West Forsyth player out of bounds. So I think that'll be either a hold or an illegal block almost. Where you see illegal blocks on the kicking team, that seems to be what that is. Get an official call here in a second.
So when the call from the referee, they're all deliberating on the far side.
Good, it was a personal foul, illegal block in the back on West Forsyth.
Interesting. Should be about a 15-yard penalty. We'll push him back all the way to about the 25-yard line.
This is where the Knights should get a stop. I mean, they really need to hunker down here and get the offense back on the field. As they're backed up in their own territory, they can afford a first down or two. They just got to settle down as there goes the handoff. Nope.
Quarterback keeper for Burns. Great tackle by, I think it was either Spillers or Guest. But Burns did gain about 6 yards for second down and 4 now for the Wolverines.
Pretty good tackling there, but once again, failure to read, running right with the running back, not leaving anyone to watch that quarterback. That's a lot. Burns done that a lot today.
Handoff to Waxer, breaks a tackle, but he'll dive forward for about a gain of 1 yard. So third down and looks to be out 4.
Probably call it third and a long 3.
It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Wolverines.
Calling it 3rd and 2, but it's probably more of a short 3, it seems like.
Screen pass from
and
Burns. Picks up the first down for the Wolverines. Receiver was Stephon Bland, junior wide receiver.
That's not really a huge problem there. Knights defensively, that was just a solid screen pass. Smart play call there by West Forsyth.
Handoff now to Holyfield, who barrels his way forward.
And the ball might
Still
be
up.
out.
No, it was actually Holyfield who was still up when many thought he was down, but he gained about 8 with forward progress there, maybe 9.
Holyfield just has that power that he's shown all day. He's their power back as compared to Waxterby and their speed back. This once again attributes to the depth of this West Forsyth team. I mean,
3:40 left to play. Another handoff. This time to Saxby Waxer, who runs far into Pace territory. It's about the 32-yard line.
I think personally, a nice defense, just a little tired. They've been on the field for a lot of this first half.
Nice, changed up their defense just in time. Waxer will keep it this time, and he gained about 1.
Good
Brought
defensive
down
stop.
by Realist George on the line.
Solid defensive stop there. It will be second down and 9. Finally, the Knights in a good position here to record a stop, something they have not done so far in this game.
3 minutes left to go in the first half. Knights still down by 21. Burns will throw this time, finds Stephon Bland, who defended
That play
by,
should
looks to
have
be
been
B.D. Williams, either.
Backed up a little bit, but it'll be third down still.
Sorry, excuse me, not B.D. Williams. Emon Hill. Will be third down, about 3 or 4 for the Wolverines. Handoff. Must be
Big.
Vela. Vela dives
He did
forward.
not get it.
It's close.
Knights desperately, desperately, desperately need this stop here.
4th down and short.
Call it 4th and
Wolverines
a
go
long
no
2.
huddle. Plenty of time on the play clock.
2 minutes to go now for halftime and counting. 8 to go now on the play clock. 5. Seems like they're taking timeout.
3, 2, 1, timeout. Smart play by the Wolverines. Look to bring the clock down as much as they can to give, if the Knights ever get the ball back in this first half, they won't have much time to do anything. But the Knights do get the ball back to start.
Raymond, I wouldn't see being a spectacular no-huddle quarterback because his mobility, but I'm sure he could do it. But a smart play, like you said. I mean, if West Forsyth picks this 4th down up there, they still have a minute 45 and 2 timeouts. So it's not like they don't have much time either if they pick it up. Now the question is, do they keep their offense out there, or do they send on the special teams and pin the Knights deep and be comfortable with this 21-point lead they already have?
I think I see Bryce Jones, the kicker for West Forsyth, over in their huddle. He's number 14. So they might be bringing out the field goal team to kick it. Looks to be,
Yeah, I mean,
what should be about a 39, 40-yard field goal.
yeah, which is makeable. I mean, I didn't like what I saw from Jones on his first kick, but then his previous 2 have been great, both touchbacks, and yes, and they are sitting out the offense.
Well, Bryce Jones is lined up at wide receiver instead. And the Wolverines will go for it. 4th and 3rd. Saxby Waxman in the backfield by, must be Deron Moore, the junior middle linebacker for the Knights.
That's exactly what the Knights needed there. Now just get points. They don't necessarily, a false start penalty is declined by the Knights, and so it will be Knights football.
Actually
Great job there.
was a false start on the last play. Penalty was declined, so the Knights will take over around 25-yard line.
I mean, Knights just really, it'd be great for them to get some points here just going into halftime. Just something to build around, because remember, the Knights do get the football to start the second half.
They do. This drive could be huge. They have 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. 75 yards.
You're probably going to see a consistent mix of sideline passes here, trying to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
They do have no timeouts left, so they come out with 4 wide. Raymond still in the shotgun. He will roll right. Raymond finds Jaden Thomas. Excuse me, not Jaden Thomas. Tony Addison for a 1st down for the Knights. Stop the clock with 1:30 left.
If I were Addison there, I would have cut right instead of left and gotten out of bounds and stopped the clock. But the good news is it wasn't 1st down. So the clock stops until the chains are set.
Another quick substitution for the Knights, eating up a bit of time. Clock now down to about 1:20 left to play.
And counting. The Knights go out of I formation for some reason here.
Raymond might spike it.
No, it's a toss.
Trick play. Perryman will throw it.
And it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, I saw that play in preseason against Mount Perrin. Didn't, about the same result, didn't work as well. In preseason, he was looking for Mazer against Mount Perrin, but hasn't worked both times.
Yeah, I like the idea, but maybe put Gabe Wright in the game, who is also a wide receiver. And you throw like a backwards screen to him and then have him throw the ball.
Yeah, he can play wide receiver, but risking it, your backup quarterback to play one play at wide receiver is almost too much to ask for Coach Slave. 1:07 left to play. Raymond will throw.
Deep shot, I like this. Perfect throw, but it will be incomplete.
And just out of bounds, away from Tony
well placed that time, but just a little too far out of the reach there of Addison.
Huge third down now for the Knights. Assuming they don't convert, I would expect to see Patrick Markwalter come out and punt because he would not want to give
maybe
the Wolverines possession.
Maybe a run play here and then a punt just to force the clock down as much as possible for West Forsyth. Or make them.
Or I would take a first down too. Screen pass looking for Perryman just over his head. We'll bring a fourth down with under a minute to play, and out comes Markwalter to punt.
Didn't seem like Perryman was ready that time. It seemed like he was still looking upfield when the pass was coming.
If he caught that, he had a lot of room and a lot of blockers in front of him to make a play, which is unfortunate.
If I were Markwalter, I might angle this kick towards the sideline just to maybe pin him deep and not risk a big return here before halftime.
Walter sends a high kick. Ryan Mazer ran right into him around the 20-yard line.
No contact there. That'll move him up. Well, I think it's a 10-yard penalty on that. Instead of being backed up to 22, it'll be the 32-yard line. Not really sure what's taken that long to deliberate here. I mean, it seemed pretty clear that there was contact for the fair catch.
Assuming it's either a 10 or 15-yard penalty, the Wolverines should take over around the 30 or 35-yard line with 50 seconds left to play.
Yeah. See how far they marked it off. It was on the Knights. Was a 15-yard penalty.
Wolverines will take over at about the 37-yard line. 52 seconds left to go. To get what, 63 yards?
I think that's right. Yeah, 37. Burns looks to
Burns under pressure.
And it's tipped and caught by an offensive lineman.
Yeah, that was a design screen looking for Saxby Waxer. That's
that
where
was
all his
probably not
linemen
the
went.
greatest decision there to catch that ball by the offensive lineman, but then he is an offensive lineman, so he probably doesn't get that many opportunities. Probably glad that came to him, but maybe let that ball fall next time so the clock will stop.
Yeah, clock is running down now. I expect the Wolverines to just run it and retire the first half of this football game. That's exactly what they do. Hand off to Waxer, brought down by Realist George after a 3 or 4 yard game. And that will bring an end to this first half in the 10th season of Pace Academy Knights football. Knights are down 21-0 after a couple of Wolverine possessions in Knights territory. From Will Nolte and Andrew Neville, we will see you at the start of the third quarter. As for now, stay tuned for a performance from the West Forsyth Marching Band and the Pace Academy Knights cheerleaders.
Just how I burn it up. These are the lights.
We are back now to start this third quarter of this Pace Academy football game against the West Forsyth Wolverines. Back to receive for the Knights is Tony Addison and Keyshawn Perryman. Here's Bryce Jones.
Sort of think of this as a fresh start here. Knights need to come out and score a touchdown here to assert themselves here early.
Tony Addison just muffs it, but he will take it. He gets absolutely rocked. Number 4, Ryan Neck. Excuse me.
Yeah, and he got hit hard that time. Just a perfectly clean hit, but he really got him.
So the Knights will start around the 15-yard line. Raven leads his offense out into a 4-wide formation, 2 on each side.
Raymond's been solid so far down his rollout passes, especially going to his right side.
Man in motion is Patrick Thurman. Raymond, quick pass to Tony Addison, stays in bounds and powers forward for about a gain of about 9 yards.
That's just fine for Knights. We just need little chunks of yardage. Just no negative plays really is the key here in the second half of the Knights. That's been what's bitten them in the past in the first half. Just want to stay in the positive category. Stay on schedule on offense.
So second down and about 2. Knights break the huddle with 8 seconds left on the play clock. Raymond's got to get the snap off. Apparently he does in time. He will scramble now to the right side. Throws it deep.
And
look for Jaden Thomas. Well out of bounds. It will be third down and
just throwing it away that time. It's another thing just for his lack of mobility. Your third down. Knights need this conversion here if they just want to keep this momentum. They really need to assert momentum before they can keep it.
So another 4-wide look for the Knights. Raymond in the shot. First down at the 37-yard line.
Good curl route that time by Addison. Just cutting 5 yards. Smart play there by both quarterback and receiver, knowing the first down sticks, getting there and just taking it in. Knights slow it down here a little bit. The new set of downs.
Trips right. Man in motion, handoff to Perryman, who gains about 3 yards.
Knights will take that. That's a fine first down play. It's got to, like I said, positive yards, stay on schedule. It's got to keep doing that, and eventually all will be fine.
And one thing, another, keep the ball out of Wolverines' hands. When they had the ball in the first half, they ate up almost all the clock while they had
Yeah, I think the Knights
possession.
had 4 drives, and they got a total of 2 or 3 first downs the whole first half. They've already gotten 1, I'm sorry, here.
Second down and 7. Raymond will throw, finds Addison on the far side. Good spin around his defender. Gains around 7 yards after his catch. First down, Knights.
Good burst of speed that time from Addison just to get the extra yardage. And this is what the Knights were missing in the first half. They did not have really a little gun shy by the Knights' offensive play calling to not throw the ball as much. I'm liking their starting out the second half, airing the ball out to Raymond, letting him get a little bit of confidence here with these easy, short completions.
Addison in motion. Play action, Raymond finds Sam Asaf. We gained about 1 yard on.
Even though that didn't net too many yards, I like that play call though.
Yeah.
Getting the rollout. West Forsyth's been bearing in on Perryman basically all day, so that's what the Knights need to assert Raymond so they can get the West Forsyth offense off of Perryman and let him do what we all know he can do.
Another long huddle for the Knights.
Sort of a jumbo I formation. Booman is the fullback. West Forsyth chose linebacker.
Quick throw finds Jaden Thomas for another first down. And he's pushed out of bounds by J.R. Brockman.
Once again, I'm sure that's what the Knights talked about in the locker room. Short, easy passes, get a little bit of air momentum. And Raymond making these seems hopeless so far right now defensively on these short throws. They can no longer key in on Perryman.
Hand off to Perryman, who's trying to make something out of nothing, spins. And forward advantage should give him about 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, I'll probably call it 2 there. Good job making a positive play out of a negative play. The Knights, I think, have probably already come close to equaling their entire possession for the entire first half here on the first drive of this third quarter. So getting close to Mark Walter's field goal range. You really want a touchdown here on this possession.
Screen to Jaden. Tackle is brought down around the 26-yard line, 27-yard line. 3-yard shot of the first down marker will be third down and about 2. Excuse me, 3.
Knights going with a smaller set offensively. Number Ryan Mazer and Patrick Thurman come into the game.
4 yards short of first down here on third and 4.
Knights just need
28-yard
4 yards. They can really have the entire playbook open, kind of going with Booman in the backfield, just sort of like as an added.
I like that. Hand off to
there he
Boo.
goes.
Oh, look at that power from Booman. Power forward, first down, Knights.
Just bowls his way all the way through 4 or 5 West Forsyth defenders. And he is the Knights power back. This is something we did not see all the first half. A sustained drive by the Knights that should help their defense here on the first drive.
Great
be a
ball.
little bit more rested.
Great play calling this drive. Knights eating up about almost 4.5 minutes of the clock so far. Hand off to the fullback Booman again. Realist George gains about 4 yards easily, just carrying people on his back. That's what happens when you're a 250-pound running back.
He's just so powerful. You can basically count on at least 3 yards on every touch he gets. He's that powerful.
Clock edging towards 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Knights in the I formation. Hand off to Perryman, right side, cuts forward.
There we go.
Gets a first down. Touchdown, Knights! The first touchdown of the 2017 season goes to junior running back Keyshawn Perryman. About a 17-yard touchdown run, 6 minutes, 52 seconds left.
And that is what I'm
in the third quarter.
That's what I'm used to seeing for the Knights offense there. A long, sustained drive, powerful running game, good, short, accurate passing game from Jared Raymond, and ultimately capped off with the first touchdown of the year, and one of 3 that the Knights will need, and the momentum is all on the Knights side right now.
Mark Walter's extra point is good. 6:52 left remaining in the third quarter. Knights trail the Wolverines 7-21. We're back now after that long Keyshawn Perryman touchdown run to put the Knights on the board. You're listening to Will Nolte and Andrew Neville here on Nightflix. Patrick Mark Walter set to kick it off. Saxby Waxer back to return it for the Wolverines. Here's Waxer past the 20, brought down around the 24-yard line.
Good job by the Knights there, just
Brought down by number 43, Ben Caldwell.
good tackle there by the Knights, just preventing them, and now just keep the momentum, force a stop, get the ball back, and go back to what you were doing before.
If anything this defense feeds on, it's momentum. And that's what the Knights have right now. You can see it. The entire sideline was pumped up after that touchdown run.
And this is like the first time the Knights have actually had something going for them in this game.
Reed, bad read, brought down is Waxer, excuse me, not.
Yeah.
Oh! Absolute incredible hit.
All the
Parker
momentum with the Knights
Spillers.
right now. Now that was still a 2-yard game. I mean,
Great play by
Burns.
Ja'Cory Wiggles to hold Zachary Burns in the backfield up.
Burns just got pummeled there as it's now second down and about 6. Burns looks to throw. Knights getting in on him. And
Oh,
throw
fantastic
complete.
catch, diving catch by number 15, Garrett Woodle, who has 2 touchdowns on the night for the
Now, it'll
Wolverines.
still
It will be
be-
third down and about 2.
Now the one thing for the West Forsyth offense that we have not seen is we have not seen Ben Barrington. I don't think we've mentioned his name once today in the offense. He was noted as their best player coming in. We haven't seen him today. This is where the
Third and
Knights
short.
need a stop for the momentum.
That's a smart timeout. Timeout for the Wolverines. Knights in momentum. Their entire stadium on this side of Walsh Field is pumped up. 5:39 left to play in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this break. Huge third down and 2 for the Knights. 5:39 left to play. Handoff, Saxby Waxer, brought down in the backfield. Reelis George and Deron Moore.
All the momentum with the Knights now. We are glad this game did not end after the first half like it did last year. Knights have all the momentum. First time I've heard Deron Moore's name really tonight. Big stop for him. Fourth down. And the Knights will get the ball back and Beatty Williams back to return the punt. Knights will get good field position, so unless this punt is just bombed. Fair
Good
catch.
kick. Williams calls a fair catch at the 34-yard line. That's where
Unless-
Jared Raymond will bring his team out to
Let
start.
me just take note. Zachary Burns was the one who punted that football. Zachary Burns is the one who punted that.
Yeah.
So just take note in case of possible trick play maybe later. Their quarterback is their punter, just like Gunnar Falk for the Knights last year.
That's what the Knights used about 3 years ago when, before Samuel Sloman was our kicker, Gunnar Falk was actually our punter, and it worked well sometimes using him as a sort of trick play.
If I
I remember
remember
one
correctly, we actually
against
put-
Wesleyan and Hateville that year.
We actually acted like we were going for it a couple times, if I remember last year, and just had Gunnar punted on fourth down. As the Knights have it 1st and 10 now.
Raymond under center, hands it off to Perryman. Perryman powering forward, gain of 5 yards for the junior. The clock ticks down to 4:45 left remaining in the third quarter.
Clock not an issue yet, as it's still just the third quarter.
Perryman just feeling his right leg after that one. He's a tough guy. He can power through it.
Play clock has resumed, as has the game clock. At 4:20 to go here in this third quarter. Knights down 14, but rallying.
Flag in the play.
Movement, it seemed.
Yeah, I think it was a false start on the Knights.
Call is offsides against the Knights, going back on 5 yards.
I've actually not really heard of that penalty too much. The call is offsides on the offense. That's not one
It was
you
a false
usually
start.
hear, but it seemed like a false start.
Referee motion for false start. Wide receiver stacked on the left. Raymond will roll right.
Same rollout play.
Finds Addison.
First down.
Tiptoes. Gains a first down for the Knights on the West Forsyth sideline.
It's that same play that Raymond has been great at all day, rolling out, throwing on the run. He and Addison has been his favorite target so far by a pretty significant margin.
Knights eating away the clock. Under 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter now. Knights have the ball at the 46-yard line.
This is the exact opposite of the first half, and why West Forsyth is grabbing away.
46.
Fumble
No
snap.
play, no play.
Okay. Timeout on the field.
For the snap.
Wow, that is one of the most luckiest circumstances I've ever seen.
Yeah. Now I wonder if Raymond heard the whistle, so that's why he let the ball go. But
Still a bit of a low snap, but
that would have been a definite momentum killer had that counted. Lucky for the Knights it didn't.
neutral zone infraction on the Wolverines.
First and 5 for the Knights inside the West Forsyth territory.
First down and 5 with 3.5 minutes to go.
Instead of a 15-yard loss, it turned into a 5-yard gain. First and 5 is definitely a lot better than second and 25.
Spread formation for the Knights. Raymond in shotgun. Screen play, looking for Parker Spillers. Fumbles it and might have jumped right back on top of it.
I thought that was a forward pass, but I guess they said it was a complete lateral pass, but it clearly seemed like Raymond was at the 39 and the pass went to the 38, but not mine to judge.
Anyways, it will be second down and about 7.
No. More than
Not 7.
like 17.
17.
6-yard loss on the play. It'll be second and 16.
11. It goes an 11-yard loss. It was first and 5. There it is
Raymond
again.
rolls right.
There we
Using
go.
those wheels and slides forward after a gain of 3 yards. He did have a couple players open. He had Mazer open, he had Thurman open, but
It's a good way to make a positive
Plays it.
play. He had no receivers downfield. It'll still be a third long, but now he can. It's a makeable pass. Now I would definitely be aggressive here for the Knights. I would not just phone it in and go ahead and go with the draw play. I would be aggressive and try to get this first down. I'm liking the rollout pass to Addison. That's been what's working so far.
receivers are Addison, Mazer, Thurman, and Thomas.
Not rolling
Talk
out.
about aggressive. Going deep. Here's Raymond.
And he
Hey,
caught
Jaden Thomas
through the pass
at the
interference.
25-yard line. Flag is
What a
thrown there.
catch. Getting pushed down.
What a catch by the
And
freshman Jaden Thomas.
that was a great catch by Jaden Thomas and just a sign of what could be to come. Very bright future for this young man. He was getting pushed down, a clear pass interference call, but still, regardless, able to come down with it anyway, an NFL caliber catch. First and down for the Knights.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty is declined. Pace will have the ball around the 20, it's about 9-yard line.
Seems like that was a great job. That was a true
Wow,
full
26-yard line.
vertical fly route all around. And just able to, that was really just a jump ball there. Good throw by Raymond, throwing it to the one he had most confidence to catch it. One-on-one coverage, and Thomas is able to prevail.
Talk about a momentum change. I formation for the Knights. 1:35 left in the third. Hand off to George.
There it is. You can count on 3 or 4 yards every time he touches the ball. He's just that powerful. Just lowers his head and runs through people.
Second down and 7 to go with a minute left in the third quarter.
Knights are taking their time here. 1 minute to go, third quarter. Knights down 14, but driving.
Shotgun look for Raymond. Boom man to his right. Hand off to Realist George.
And there he goes. Boom man, first down.
First down Knights. Realist George has about...
This is the Knights offense we've come to know and love over the past few years. Just driving right down the field relatively effortlessly. Oh, and this is not good. A referee appears to be injured. We will
Oh dear.
step aside.
Well, as they tend to that referee, yes, we will take a break. 40 seconds left remaining in the third quarter. Knights are at the 12-yard line. We're back now after that injury on the field by, I believe it was the umpire in the backfield. Let's hope this doesn't sway from the Knights' momentum. 1st and 10 on the 12. Hand off to Keyshawn Perryman, and he's going nowhere but backwards.
That's the one concern with that thing that could happen is they could take away from Knights' momentum. Knights have to get back in that play calling groove they were in earlier, and we will see it again in the 4th quarter.
And the Knights will let the clock run out to end the 3rd quarter. A great long touchdown run from Keyshawn Perryman. And the Knights having the ball for about 10 minutes of it. Ends the 3rd quarter with a lot of momentum for the Knights. Let's see if they can carry on into the 4th. We're back now to start this 4th quarter of play. Knights trail by 14. Will be 2nd and 10 on the 12-yard line, excuse me.
Knights just need a punch it in right here, get a stop, punch it in again, and brand new ball game. West Forsyth defense is now the one that's tired. Knights defense the one that's
Raymond will
rested.
throw. Raymond lobs it
into
up
double
for
coverage, and it's incomplete. Yeah.
Flag thrown. Looks to be pass interference on West Forsyth. They're kind of holding him back from that fade route.
I didn't see much, but Knights will take it. I mean, it seemed like maybe a grab of the left arm there.
Yeah, they kind of slowed him down enough to not allow him to run the full route to get to that ball.
That keeps the Knights' momentum going. So now have it 1st and goal instead of 3rd and 10.
I think they might have put to the flag. Nope.
Yeah,
Walk it forward. I think it was half the distance to the goal, so they will take over at the 6-yard line. Quick play, hand off to Perryman.
He's dragging people, and he...
Yeah, about a 4 or 5 yard run up to the 2-yard line.
Call it the 3-yard line, so...
Third and 1 from about the...
See, if I'm not mistaken, I thought pass interference was an automatic 1st down, but must not be. It could have been a holding call, maybe.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 from...
3rd and 1. This is 2-down territory all the way for the Knights here. A field goal will still keep it a 2-score game.
It will be a delay of game for the Knights. This play clock ran down all the way to 0. It's a 3rd down and 6 now. about the
Or
8-yard line.
Still
They don't need a touchdown. All they have to do is get to the 2-yard line
Yeah.
to reset the downs. But
I mean, if you're looking at the clock and the time left and the score, a field goal does not necessarily help the Knights here. It keeps it a 2-score game. You only need a touchdown to bring it back down to a 1-score game. The clock ticks down, 10:50 to go. Now the Knights take a timeout.
yeah, and the play clock ticked down all the way to about 1, and Knights have to take a timeout. That is their first timeout of the second half, and we'll take one too. 10:48 left to play in the game. We're back now after that delay of game and timeout from the Knights. Turns out, I believe, offensive coordinator Kevin Johnson's headset was not really communicating well with Coach Slade and the rest of the staff on the field. Kevin Johnson's running out of the coach's box next to us. Ran on the field. Down and Harriman. Falling down the end zone.
That is not good. There is a fumble on the play.
Perriman dove into the end zone. Might have finally
Let's see what the call is.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Keyshawn Perriman, 80-yard run from the junior with 10 and a half minutes left to play.
Huge.
He might have fumbled it into the end zone. I believe Tony Addison came out with it.
Yeah, I just saw one West Forsyth player say they had the ball. I thought of them fumble, but either way, big touchdown by the Knights, and they are now fully in this game. Get a stop, and they will have plenty of time to come back and try to tie this game. And I think they'd be silly to try an onside kick here. It's just have confidence in your defense.
You have confidence. You have momentum. You have a good pass defense. Mark Walters' extra point is good. Brings the Knights within 7 of the 7A school of West Forsyth. Walsh Field is rocking now.
32 seconds to go in the ball game. And you're West Forsyth Wolverines.
Headset problems from all the coaches. The advantage of having Big Kev Coach Johnson on the field instead of up in the booth is to get to pump all the players up as he's doing right now, as he does so well. Mark Walters set to kick off from the 40-yard line.
Apparently now we're in Columbia, South Carolina. This is right before the kickoff. This is what the South Carolina Gamecocks do. But either way, we have a very tight game now as we welcome you back. 21-14, 10:32 to go in this ball game.
Mark Walters' kick is deep, well into the end zone for a touchback. And the Wolverines will take over at the 20-yard line.
Knights are very much hype. This is the total opposite of the first half when they were sort of dull and struggling to find anything. They now have everything. It's been a total tale of two halves. And like I said, and like we were talking about earlier, this game having no regional or playoff implications, this rally back and momentum is really just going to stick in the Knights' minds.
Zachary Burns now rolls right for the Wolverines.
Pitch is
Tipped away. Great play by number 43,
that'd be Ben
Caldwell, to swat that ball down, not allow
And we've mentioned
Garrett
his name.
Woodall to have a
We've
chance at the catch.
We've mentioned his name a couple times today. He's made a few tackles as well. He's having a solid game at that outside linebacker free safety position. Sophomore. Sophomore. And
Burns now checking his
Wolverines
coaches.
taking their time, but it's not really helping because the clock isn't running.
Play clock now down to 2. Gets the playoff in time. Handoff now. I think that's
Stopped.
might be Saxby Waxer, who gains about 5 yards.
This could be the play of the game right here. 3rd down, 5, backed up in their own territory. If you stop them here, you get the ball. No worse, probably in your own 40 with plenty of time left. Just get off the field right here. You keep the momentum.
10 minutes left to play. 3rd and 5 at West Forsyth's 25-yard line.
A split backfield, which could be interesting with their zone read formation.
Vela goes
Back to
out
throw,
wide.
Knights bring pressure.
Quick pass to Vela,
And he got
powers
the
forward
first down.
for a first down.
Well run play that time. Just a simple flat route. Though no real harm done are in the first down. Not a big play.
Save formation. Burns checks his coaches. So there's a lot of time on the play clock. That's nice to make a late substitution.
Wiggles went out of the game and then came back in.
Handoff to Vela again, who dives forward for a gain of about maybe 6 or 7.
I call it, seems like they're marking him closer to 4 or 5. It seemed to me that he did get 6 or 7. They're marking it at like 5. It seems
Yeah,
like.
he did dive a lot farther than it may have looked. So we'll settle on 5.
Knights need to get back to where they were earlier in this second half defensively, which is getting penetration. These runs of the running backs, it seemed like Knights were not set there.
Flags.
Yeah. Neutral zone infraction. And that will be a first down.
Ball moves up to the 42-yard line for a first down for the West Forsyth Wolverines.
Really need to hold them off the board here because you really think about that you're only guaranteed one more drive, even though it's not necessarily the case. Think of it that way. So you know you need to get off the field. You're down 1 score, which is just fine. You can't really afford to have it be 2 because you don't want to go into the whole risk of onside kicks or anything.
Hand off to Waxer, who gains maybe about 6 yards on his handoff up the middle.
Knights defense well rested after the long drive by the offense. They just have to get back to penetrating the gaps like they were earlier. During our break, in between during the West Forsyth timeout, we had a new headset come up to Gavin Bradley as well. So we've seen
Defensive coordinator.
headset problems sort of plaguing the Knights.
Hand off to Waxer again, who dives forward just short of the first down
Okay,
marker, but it will be 3rd and about a 2.
Once again, this is not the easiest, but still, if you stop him here, you're just fine. You'll get the ball with 7 minutes left. You can run completely your normal offense. Nothing has to change. Whereas really, I say if you get below 4 minutes, you gotta go a little faster than you usually do.
Knights showing blitz.
Expecting a run here on 3rd and 2, which I find logical.
Head out to Waxo, brought down in the backfield, Jamari Salyer.
The two best players on this Knights defense, Jamari Sawyer and Booman George, burst through and get him. And it will be 4th down now. That was just big. Knights will get the ball with plenty of time, just can't mess up here on special teams.
Zachary Burns is back to punt away for B.D. Williams. Burns has a
Punt, fair,
good
let
punt.
it bounce, just don't touch it, that's fine.
Williams touched it. Is gobbled up
That
by
was-
Wolverines at the 15 or 16 yard line.
That almost gave me a heart attack there. It was a little risky. If you let the ball bounce, just down it. Just let the other team down it. I mean, you don't want to lose the momentum you had. That was a,
Still might have saved about 5 yards though. But
I mean,
so Knights have to drive 85 yards
but they did it.
within 6.5 minutes.
They did it to open the first half in 4.5, so I'm sure they can do it here. And you really want the drive to take as long as possible. But first and foremost, you just want to score.
Spread formation. Raymond rolls right.
He's got a curl.
Yeah, finds Addison on the short curl, who gains about 8 or 9. From 2nd down and short.
That's just fine. That's all you need. You got plenty of time.
Absolutely.
I love what the Knights are doing, just taking their time, not even focusing on the clock. Clock is not a factor right now.
Oh, absolutely not. Trips right. Raymond, hand off to Perryman. Powers forward close to the 1st down marker.
Seems like, and they are giving it
It
to
will. The moves a change for another 1st down for the Knights. It stops the clock at 5:45.
I mean, what a tale of two different halves it has been. Let's just reminisce. It was 21-0 at the half, and the Knights had the ball 4 times and not advanced past their own 30-yard line. Now they've totally dominated the second half. West Forsyth has not advanced past midfield, and Raymond has just looked like a new man leading this Knights offense, completing everything. Low snap.
Raymond evading pressure, throws it away, trying not to get sacked.
Smart.
But yes,
there by Raymond.
I love Raymond's leadership and composure in this second half so far, leading this Knights
And
team back
also
into the game.
An underrated facet is his mobility. We weren't talking about him being mobile coming into this game, but he's had a few good scrambles just to keep plays alive and avoid sacks. I think he's only been sacked once or twice in this game.
He can move if he needs to.
2nd and 10, Knights. Ball at 27.
Raymond with Perryman next to him.
Low snap, Raymond. Finds Tony Addison just over his head.
Just a little too high there. Raymond a little too eager. What would you say? If you don't get it here, do you punt it or is it 2-down territory for
Oh,
this
you
one?
absolutely punt it.
Yeah.
You absolutely punt it.
I would agree with that because, I mean, clock still not a factor. Your defense has come off plenty of stops so far. I mean,
Trips
still
left.
have 2 timeouts.
Shotgun look for Raymond. Screenplay finds Addison. Addison gets about 5, not enough for the 1st down. Raymond was hit a little after his throw. There's no flag.
Wow. This is
4th down and 4. Nice offense stays on the field.
If it were 4th and 10, I would vehemently disagree with this. But it's 4th and 4, 4th and manageable.
Punt team's coming out. 9 seconds on the play clock.
I think this makes the most sense here.
Nope. Yep.
And
Delay of game.
and that makes the decision for you if there was any contemplation.
Unnecessary. Knights still have 2 timeouts in their pocket.
4:28. Think if they get 25 or 30 seconds of play. They'll probably, Knights will probably have around, if they force them 3 and out, they'll have around 2.5 minutes to go. There's a flag in the backfield. Let's just take note of that.
Great punt by Mark Walter.
Let's check the flag. No flag.
Refs wave the flag off, so the Wolverines will take over at the 24-yard line. 4 minutes, 4 seconds left to play in this fantastic opening game to the 2017 season for the Knights.
Knights need to stop really relatively quickly here. So, I mean, now the clock begins to be a little bit of a factor. 4 minutes. Bringing in Holyfield, their power back, just to churn yardage here for West Forsyth.
Hand off to Waxer.
Fumble, ball's on the ground.
I think he jumped right back on it. Excuse me, that was actually Holyfield.
But that's good, though, because it's 2nd down now and 10, because it seemed like he had a big hole
He
there.
had a lot of room. He had a lot of room and a lot of space.
Catch a break, and they will take it 2nd and 10. When they snap the ball, there will be about 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And that was also a quick play, which we should also take note of.
Pass now for Burns, Zachary Burns. Scott Levin held him up, and looks to be pass interference or holding on Scott Levin, defensive back.
Fairly obvious grab of the arm there. Calls a hold. So that's a 5-yard penalty, I think. So I'll make it.
That's good it was holding instead of pass interference.
Yeah, I think it's 5 yards and a repeat down, but not an automatic first down. If I think they're marking it off 10 or 15. I didn't think holding was a 15-yard penalty.
I don't think it is either, but whatever. They gave him 15 yards.
Must have been a pass interference. They call it a hold.
Burns under pressure in the backfield, still stays on his feet. Chased down by Justin Morris. Flag in the backfield.
That is a hold.
There's a nice player down. That could be the flag.
Booman George
gets up.
You see Big Kev running onto the field to check on his offensive lineman. Now, if I were the Knights, I would decline this penalty. I would take the down, make it be 2nd down instead of 1st down, just because of the clock factor. They didn't get much of a gain at all.
How does Burns keep staying on his feet? That man will not go down to save his life. Yeah.
Okay, 15-yard penalty. Knights do accept it.
Yeah. But it still will be 1st down.
And because of the penalty, I don't think the clock will restart.
Our PA announcer just explained it was half the distance to the goal.
Which is 14.5 yards. They were at the 29.
All right. Half yards make all the difference in football games.
This game's still nowhere near over. Knights will get the ball back if they stop them.
It's going to be 1st down in the country mile for the Wolverines.
Okay, I would
First
call
and
it
very long.
There's a
Handoff
run.
up the middle
Down.
to Waxer after maybe a gain of 5 yards.
Knights at this pace will probably get the ball back with about 1:45 if they don't spend their timeouts. With 2 to go, that's more than enough time. Not bothering to adjust the distance, but it seems to be around 2nd and 31, or 25 is what they're saying.
Yeah, 2nd down, 25. Like. 2:40 left to play in
the Knights have to just be aware of the passing play here.
Will be another handoff though.
And
Quarterback keeper from Zachary Burns. Going nowhere, brought down by Iman Hill.
Smart.
And the Knights will take a timeout with 2:20 left to play. 3rd down coming up.
I like that call, because if you stop him here, then you'll get the ball definitively with 1:45 and a timeout.
Do you think the Wolverines will throw in this play?
Probably. I would suspect just another running play. I mean, if they're going to get 29 yards through the air, then that's just a mistake, but that's aggressive play calling because you want to run down the clock as much as you can. So I just run the ball again, and if I were the Knights, I would still pressure you and try, because the field position becomes even more critical here. The Knights want to get the ball back at their own, say, 40. You know, I still would put 2 or 3 safeties back just in case.
3rd down and 22. 2nd down, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left remaining in the game. Nice trail by 7.
And the pace student section has stayed throughout this entire game. This game has kept people interested. Good fight by the Knights in the second half. 3rd and 22. And they are throwing the
Burns
ball.
will throw. He will throw deep.
And he's got a man.
Looking for Bryce Jones over the middle. Passes caught around the 37-yard line for a 1st down for the Wolverines. That's a huge play for West Forsyth.
That was a big play, and that was just the Knights not necessarily being ready. They didn't put a deep safety back. They didn't have the one free safety like 30 yards out. I gotta say, good fight by the Knights, but it'll be tough now for them to get the ball back without a turnover or something here. Needed 22, got 24.
Clock ticking, handoff to Waxer. Dives forward for a gain of 4 yards. Clock ticking.
Let's think about it. Let's play. Play clock starts now. At least it should. So this play will go off at 1:10. The next play, say, will go off at 45. And then the Knights will probably use their last timeout.
Clock at 1:10 right now. Another handoff to Waxer. Burns kept it. Maybe not a designed play for him to keep it.
There's a flag on the play.
Got in a tussle with Bryce Jones on the far side, the wide receiver for West Forsyth, and flags were thrown on the far side. So a big pop from West Forsyth bench and players.
It could be offsetting fouls, but I think that'll go against the Knights.
And there are flags on the field. 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in our ball game.
We're at a minute left. The penalties will
And I think
forcing
with both fouls being on
Knights back to about the 7-yard line.
Gives the Wolverines the ball. First and 10, first and goal, and an 8.
victory formation for West Forsyth.
Quarterback takes a knee.
Zachary Burns takes a knee.
Just have to do that one more time.
And Knights take a timeout. So it's maybe time to reflect on this game. Not a bad showing from the Knights.
Not a bad showing at all. And I mean,
Sure, it's a loss on the record sheet, but the Knights have played very well tonight against a 7A school, almost 7 times the size of them.
yeah. And I mean, really, the big thing going on here is the fight, the resilience.
Yeah.
Knights easily could have just given up down 21-0 at halftime, but they have shut out. They have won the second half 14-0 and looked pretty dominant throughout. It's just that one third down pass. Had they stopped that, it could be an entirely different situation right now.
Knights' next game is home next week against the 2A state champions, Hateville Charter Hornets. They played the Hornets the past 4 years. Excuse me, the past 3 years. This will be the 4th year playing, and we've beaten them all 3 times, so every single time Hateville has put up a fight against us.
That will be a close game, I'm sure, assume.
Side takes a knee again.
And that will be the ball game.
That, folks, is going to be your ball game.
Like we said, good fight by the Knights. They put up a good
Absolutely.
showing here, and no region or playoff implications. The only thing you're really going to take out of this is the resilience and the fight. Keep the positive, take away the negative. And the good thing is this ended on a very positive note for the Knights.
So that will do it for tonight. Thank you all for joining us here at Walshfield for the first game in this 2017 campaign for the Knights. They do fall to the West Forsyth Wolverines 21-14. From Will Nolte and Andrew Neville, thank you all for joining us. We say good night and go Knights.